Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Camp Blood Media. My name is Josh, and welcome to part 2 of my 31 Days of Horror Halloween Horror Fest list. Last video, I covered 15 horror movies from October 1st all the way up to October 15th. Now, I have 16 more scary movies for you to enjoy all the way up to Halloween night. And just like last time, some are old classics, some you might never heard of before, but all are guaranteed to scratch that horror itch, so sit back, get ready, and let's get into some movies. Gutting its way into the October 16th spot is The Mutilator, which premiered October 5th, 1984. The movie follows a group of students who are going on vacation to one of their family's properties, only to end up being brutally murdered one by one. The movie's original title was Fall Break. However, this didn't sound enough like a horror movie to the producers, so they decided to change it to The Mutilator. I just watched this movie for the first time myself recently, and I gotta say, this movie has some really great kills, and it definitely does not hold back on the gore, that's for sure. This is a must-watch for any horror fan if you haven't seen it, so make sure to check it out. You can find this movie streaming on Amazon Prime, Shudder, and streaming for free with ads on Tubi. And hooking his way into the October 17th spot is Candyman, which premiered October 16th in 1992. Hey, I was born that year. The movie revolves around Helen Lyle, who hears a local story about an entity that can be summoned by saying Candyman 5 times in the mirror. However, when she decides to ignore the warnings and calls out his name, things take a turn for the worst. Tony Todd, who stars as Candyman, negotiated a clause in his contract to be paid $1,000 per bee sting, and he was stung 23 times throughout the course of the entire trilogy. I'd say that was a good idea on his part. You can find Candyman streaming on YouTube or Amazon Prime. And chugga chugga choo-chooing its way into the October 18th spot is Terra Train, which premiered October 3rd, 1980 and stars Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween. Terra Train focuses on a group of students who attend a costume party aboard a train, only to be picked off one by a killer who wears the costumes of his victims in order to hide his identity. The movie was filmed back-to-back with Jamie Lee Curtis's Prom Night, and both of which were filmed right here in Canada. I actually just watched this movie for the first time last week, and I can't believe I'd put it off until now. It was a really fun horror movie. Make sure to check this one out. You can find Terra Train streaming on Amazon Prime. Sailing its way onto your screen October 19th is Ghost Ship, which premiered October 25th, 2002. The movie revolves around a boat salvage crew who come across an abandoned ship at sea. Only once they get on board, they discover it may not be as empty as they originally thought. This movie has one of the greatest opening scenes in all of horror. So great, in fact, that even the Mythbusters wanted to do an episode on it in 2006. You can catch Ghost Ship streaming on YouTube or Vudu. I'm sure some of you have been wondering when this franchise would make an appearance on the list. Well, without further ado, stabbing its way through the competition to take the October 20th spot on the list is Scream, which premiered December 20th in 1996. The movie follows Sidney Prescott, who starts to receive threatening phone calls from a killer who claims to be responsible for the brutal murder of her mother 1 year prior. The party scenes near the end of the movie took 21 days to shoot, leading it to be called the longest night in horror history. The cast and crew even received t-shirts that read, "I survived scene 118. You can catch Scream streaming on Amazon Prime or Vudu. And flying its way into your screen October 21st is Phantasm, which premiered March 28th in 1979. After the residents of a small town start dying mysteriously and their bodies are discovered missing, it causes a young boy named Mike to investigate the local mortuary, where he encounters the terrifying Tall Man. The mansion used in this movie was also seen in Burnt Offerings from 1976 and James Bond's A View to a Kill from 1985. A lot of people don't even know about these movies, and there's actually 5 movies in the franchise, so make sure to check this one out. You can catch Phantasm streaming on Amazon Prime or streaming for free on Tubi. Hatching inside your home on October 22nd are The Critters, which premiered April 11th, 1986. The movie follows a group of vicious aliens who land on an American farm while on the escape from space bounty hunters. However, the Brown family in the town of Grover's Bend must band together to take on these critters if they have any hope of surviving. This film was promoted as the answer to New Line Cinema's Gremlins from 1984. However, the script for this movie was already written and bought before Gremlins was ever revealed. You can find Critters streaming on YouTube or Amazon Prime. Two dueling curses will be fighting for your soul in Sadako vs. Kayako, also known as The Ring vs. The Grudge, which premiered in Japan on June 18, 2016. Have you ever asked yourself, what would happen if I watched the tape from The Ring inside the house from The Grudge? Well, this film answers that question when two girls become infected by the curses, and their only chance to survive is to pit the two curses against each other. The idea actually started off as an April Fool's joke before they decided to make it into a real movie. They made an Instagram account for Kayako and even held a baseball game where the two villains played against each other for publicity. You can catch Sadako vs. Kayako streaming on Shudder or Amazon Prime. And hiding in your backseat on October 24th is Urban Legend, which premiered September 25th, 1998. A university is plagued by a series of murders that one student realizes are based off of old urban legends after her friend is brutally killed by a man who is hiding in her back seat. Can she figure out the killer's identity before she ends up as an urban legend herself? Sarah Michelle Gellar was actually supposed to play Sasha in the movie, however scheduling conflicts with Buffy the Vampire Slayer prevented that from happening and the role went to Tara Reid. You can catch Urban Legend streaming on Amazon Prime or Vudu. Pulling up to your home on October 25th is The Train to Busan, which premiered in South Korea September 25th, 2016. After a group of passengers, including a man and his daughter, board a speeding train to Busan, a zombie outbreak occurs, causing them to fight for their lives until the train arrives at their destination. This movie has some really great action and suspense. At the time of release, it became the 6th highest grossing movie of all time in South Korea. Don't miss Train to Busan streaming on Amazon Prime, Shudder, or for free on Tubi. And chasing you through the woods on October 26th is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which premiered October 17, 2003. After a girl commits suicide in the back of their van, a group of young travelers returning from Mexico become the target of a deranged family of cannibalistic killers who rely on the horrifying Leatherface to catch and kill their next meal. John Larroquette, who voiced the opening crawl in 1974's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of which he was paid one joint for, offered to return to voice the opening crawl for the remake. You can catch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake on Amazon Prime or Shudder. And handing you a corsage on October 27th is Prom Night, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, which premiered July 18th, 1980. After a group of friends start being horribly murdered on their prom night, they come to realize that the killings may be connected to a young girl whom they bullied to death when they were just children. Jamie Lee Curtis actually did all of her own stunts at the end of this movie. And plus, this movie, plus Terra Train, The Fog, and both Halloween movies is what led her to become the Scream Queen. You can catch Prom Night streaming on Amazon Prime or Shudder. Opening up the lament configuration on October 28th is Hellraiser, which premiered May 13th, 1987. The movie revolves around a mysterious puzzle box that, when opened, summons a group of demons called the Cenobites who can't tell the difference between pleasure and pain, and the lead Cenobite, Pinhead, vows to recapture any souls that have escaped his hell. The film actually ran out of money at the end, so Clive Barker had to do the effects himself over the course of a drunken weekend. When he showed the movie to his mother, she cried seeing his name in the opening credits. However, he leaned over to her and said, "This is the happiest you're gonna be for the next 2 hours." You can catch Hellraiser streaming on Amazon Prime and Shudder. Lock your doors and close your windows, because on October 29th, you're in the town that dreaded Sundown, which premiered December 24th, 1976. A hooded psycho hunts for victims at Lover's Lane in Texarkana. Based on true events, the film is a fact-based account of what happened in the town. The movie doubles as a semi-documentary about the Moonlight murders, which happened in Texarkana in the 1940s. They had no conviction, and they're still unsolved to this day. The appearance of the killer in the movie is actually the inspiration for Baghead Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. You can catch The Town That Dreaded Sundown on Amazon Prime. Causing you to run from your home on October 30th is the Amityville Horror, which premiered July 27th, 1979. After the Lutz family lands a deal on a new home that seems almost too good to be true, they soon realize their lives are in grave danger after the supernatural forces within their home threaten to tear them apart. Due to the overwhelming popularity of the book and the movie, the owner actually replaced the famous eye windows with rectangular windows to reduce incoming traffic from the public. You can watch the Amityville Horror streaming on YouTube or Amazon Prime. And here we are, the 31st, the final day of my 31 Days of Horror list. And, to end things on the highest note possible, we have a double feature of Halloween, which premiered October 25th, 1978, and Halloween 2, which premiered October 30th, 1981. Originally called The Babysitter Murders, the plot was supposed to take place over the course of several days. However, when they finally decided that they would like it all to take place on one day, they decided Halloween was the best night of the year to do it on, and they changed the title of the movie. The mask worn in Halloween 2 is actually the same mask from Halloween 1. However, Deborah Hill kept it under her bed for a few years, and she was a heavy smoker, so it altered the look of the mask. Also, Dick Warlock had a bit of a wider face than Nick Castle from Halloween 1, so when he would wear the mask, it would stretch it out a bit, causing it to look slightly different. You can catch both Halloween movies streaming on Shudder or Amazon Prime. And that's it, guys, my 31 Days of Horror Halloween Horror Fest list. I really hope you liked the video and plan on adding some of these movies to your own watch list. If you do, let me know which movies you're going to watch in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe because it really helps out the channel, and I worked my butt off on these two videos. There's going to be more content to come in October, so stay tuned. Until next time, guys, have a good one.